Tom LeVecchia here with the continuation of the New Theory podcast. We had some special guests this week. We had Nathan Lacka, who's one of the top business podcasters in the world. We had a little fun with At the Handy J, who is an Instagram star with close to 800,000 followers, and we talked about how she monetized her meme generating site to bring in big money, and it's still a hobby at this point, but she's raking it in. We had Dan Hyman, who is a rock star who interviewed Dave Chappelle and also wrote for some big periodicals such as the New York Times as well as Rolling Stone magazine. So we continue to keep racking up the notable guests, and this next guest is no exception. We're here with Kay Sanders, who is a consultant, business coach, best-selling author. Kay, welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Okay, so you wear many different hats, all right? We like to start off early. Where were you born and where did you grow up?
Okay, I was born in Germany. I was there. I grew up there in Germany, and I moved to El Paso, Texas in 2006. So I was there like half of my life, half of my lifetime. I was in Germany.
Where in Germany? What city?
Schweinfurt.
And what's the nearest big city?
That would be Würzburg, Frankfurt. Frankfurt is about 2 hours away from that.
Beautiful. So we're very open podcast, and we'll ask some direct questions. But the thing I like about Germans also give very direct answers, which I love. So they're very open, which I love. I spent some time in Hamburg, and I really enjoyed it. What brought you to Texas, business or pleasure?
Well, I was married, so I don't want to call that pleasure because that ended up really, really badly. But I was married. My ex-husband, he was military. He got stationed here, and that's how I got here. But he left 2 months later, so
got it. But it brought you to Texas, right?
Yes.
So at that point, you're, I guess, newly separated or newly divorced, right? You're in Texas. It's a new country. A lot going on. What was your first move?
Well, my first move was I had to get me a job because I really didn't have anything. My ex was really supportive, so I had to get me a job. But I always knew that I wanted to do more. I had my own nail technician business in Germany, so I thought, hey, I can do that here. Unfortunately, nothing I did in Germany was actually accepted here, so they want me to go to school again. Yada yada yada. Didn't want to do that. So I got me a job, then I started school, I started college, and just trying to find me another business that I can do from home. I got into network marketing. That really didn't turn out well because I really don't like network marketing. But I didn't realize that until years later after I tried like 6 different ones.
Yeah.
And then I came across the coaching industry. But yeah, the first thing was really just trying to figure out what I want to do, how I'm going to survive. I was just me and my son. So that was kind of challenging, but school actually helped me out a lot to really find my way.
Okay, so that's actually critical because I'm just going to wear your hat, and I will never fully be able to wear your hat, but I'm just, for our listeners, you have a son, you're in a different country. MLA is a good play if you're a working mom, you're a student, you're looking to get money in. Obviously, not all MLMs are the same. So you did that for a little while, but then you got into the business world. Give us your first entrepreneurial venture, and how did you get started?
Well, I came across the coaching industry in 2012. I was working at a PTSD treatment facility, and that's when I learned about coaching, and I fell in love with it because it was really in alignment with what I want to do. I love helping people. And, just working over there at that PTSD treatment facility, I learned a lot about my own struggles. And I'm like, hey, I can help people. And that's really when I got serious about, business. But my challenge was that I didn't really know how to grow a business and none of that stuff until I got certified as a coach, got me my own coach that could really help me move forward and move things along. And that's when really everything, really the ball started rolling when I got my own coach. Then I rebranded as a business coach and really started to move forward.
Okay. So as a business coach, you have to kind of credential yourself, right? So if I were to hire Kay Sanders as a business coach, I need like a frame of reference. What was your initial message as to why they should hire you in the absolute beginning?
I do have a lot of educational background. I got my certification in web and graphic design.
Nice.
I've created everything myself. Everything that I teach, I really do myself. I don't just talk the talk, but I also walk the walk.
Got it.
And I've, also like, from what I've learned from my coaches, from my mentors, I got degrees. I mean, I got a degree in IT management. Then I was doing entrepreneurship and digital marketing, but I actually stopped the master's mainly because I didn't really like the degree. But just the educational background, the certification, I got certified as a personal development coach. So just having that, and then also being featured on, like, I made my a name for myself already online, being out there, being visible. So people never really questioned, if I was really good enough, because I really made a name for myself. Like early on, that was like one of the big things that I was really focusing on. And I created online courses, and just like when someone goes to my website, they could see right away that, oh my God, she got her stuff together. She has a lot of things going on for herself, which really gave me the credibility and the expert status as well, that made it easier for me to really get the clients, and so they can see that, hey, she is an expert, she knows what she's talking about. And even just having a conversation with people, and they realize that, for one, I was really passionate about what I was doing, and I do know what I was talking about. I mean, oftentimes I've come across coaches, they really just talk around all corners and don't really give you a lot of value, and that kind of shines through, that they might not really know what they're talking about. But anytime I was talking with people, from the things that I was doing, the technical aspect, it was really because I knew how to do those things. I've done a lot of training to really have that educational background, and not just so, oh yeah, I know how to help you, but I really don't know how to do those things. Because all of the things that I teach my clients, I also do it for them. So that's why I do the consulting as well. So I think really the background that I had, the educational background, was helping me out a lot.
Okay. So you hung your shingle, you started your business, you worked online to gain credibility, you started acquiring clients, okay? So what is your model right now? Go through the revenue streams. How much is online courses that are passive? How much is it active coaching? How much is it seminars? Give us your streams of revenue by area.
So you want me to actually announce the amounts as well, how much I charge?
What you can do is, you're welcome to give it, like, for example, you may say consulting, you may say, online courses, and we're not, we're pretty open. So if you want to give ranges, give ranges. We don't have to always put you on the spot, but if you're comfortable, give ranges.
Okay. Well, honestly, I really don't like doing it, because I want people to really experience to working with me, and announcing a price can really, push people away. So,
Okay.
But I definitely can give you some range as well. Right now, my main thing is I don't do any group coaching as of right now, but I do a lot of one-on-one. So because my approach is really tailored to the individual person, so I do all of my stuff is one-on-one, the consulting as well as the coaching. So for the coaching, I usually work with my clients for at least a year, because implementing all the different systems and strategies do take time, because for one, you do need to have systems and strategies in place to really up-level your business, to automate your process and all of those things. And it does take time. I mean, this stuff is not done within like a 2, 3, 4 months or something like that. And usually I work with them, like I said, for a year. As far as the consulting goes, that's really per project. So if I have a client that just wants to implement, like create a website, then it really depends on, how much they want to have on the website, how extensive, how, do they want e-commerce on it or anything like that. So that's more like per project.
Okay. Okay.
And,
Wait. So, okay. So you're a little different. Okay, in a good way. Okay. So I want to make sure I bucket this correctly. I can hire you, Tom LaVecchia, as a person, and kind of a yes or no answer, as a business coach. Correct? Yes or no? Right? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. But then I could also hire you as newtheory.com as a company to consult on maybe helping us establish better processes, maybe getting more traffic, or doing our business. So I could also hire you as a company as well, correct?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then lastly, but you do it too, I can also hire you to say, hey, I need a website as well, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Do you do ongoing SEM, or do you stop on the retainer only for consulting and coaching?
Well, I don't really create content or anything like that, or
Yeah.
I also don't do SEO. It's mainly just for ongoing support. If they want to create any additional landing pages, to set up the autoresponder, adding some more stuff to it, those are the things that I do. But as of right now, I do not offer any ongoing digital marketing kind of services. Eventually, I will. But as of right now, I don't. It's made the initial setup, and then I just consult with them as I go along, and just help them along the way. Some of the things I probably will outsource, as far as if they want SEO or any of those things, I will outsource that.
Got it. All right. Now, in terms of okay, so I'm a digital marketer. So I have X Factor Media, which is the owner of New Theory, and New Theory is its own platform, and it's growing nicely. But with that being said, I also on the digital marketing side have connections in the health and beauty space, specifically plastic surgeons. So we are a niched in plastic surgery on the digital marketing side, right? It's just our just strategy, right?
Mhm.
For you, do you acquire clients in a certain vertical? Do you acquire clients that are at a revenue level? How do you get your clients? You know, what grouping are they? Vertical, right? And then do you get them via inbound or outbound promotions?
Well, my ideal clients are other coaches and consultants. Anyone that wants to, any of those two that want to really grow their business online. Right now, it's through my lead generation. That's how I get my clients. I have different lead magnets out there. They basically go onto my email list, and then I just kind of convert them that way. And then I also do direct outreach, where I really reach out to people. I mean, not cold calling. I don't like cold calling, but I use my LinkedIn or Facebook, excuse me, network to really reach out to the people, have a conversation with them, and then see how I can support them in any way. And that's how I get my clients right now. Or they just come to me, or I get referrals.
Okay, so you mentioned email lists, and we had the first to kick off the podcast was Nathan Chan of Founder Magazine, and he started really big on Instagram to a point where they got over 1 million followers. But then they kind of not I don't say retrenched, but then they got really focused on email marketing and having that email relationship with the client. And he was smart because email marketing is kind of making a comeback. So if I come to Kay, do I buy an email from list from you at a premium for your lead magnet, or do I rent a list where I give you and say, "Hey, Kay, here you go," and then you send an email out on a per blast basis? How does your email marketing service work?
Well, I don't rent or buy lists because that's cold traffic. They never opted in, and that can actually hurt you as a business.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if I know other businesses they might do that. Bigger companies, my people are really solo entrepreneurs or other coaches and consultants, and I really would not suggest buying or renting any email list because those people never opted into your email list. What I do is I help my clients really build their own list, really build their list of raving fans, doing those different lead magnets, having different like either lead magnets, webinars, virtual summits, or anything like that to build their own list because these people, they said, yes, I want to learn more about this person. I want to get that person's information. But if you rent or buy a list, those people don't know you. I mean, I know for myself, I get a lot of emails. I click on like spam. I never opted into their email list. Spam, 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 because I don't want to get emails from people that I don't know. And nowadays, is with the whole spam, is really you can really hurt your good name, and especially for a solo entrepreneur, your name is everything. You are, I mean, your name is what's going to keep your business afloat. So if you're using an email list that you did not build yourself, you basically harming your name. And I do not recommend that to any of my clients to buy or rent a list.
Okay, so Kay brings a great point, and how Founder Magazine grew their list is they built an ecosystem online through social media, and then they would do a freemium model where they would give away maybe a great book or a PDF or something that added value. And Nathan would send that to you. In exchange, you would offer your email list, and then you would, grow your email list from there. That's kind of good old fashioned digital, marketing. It's a little old school, but it still works, right? So
Mhm.
so 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 you need to build a lot of content for that though. So what type of content do you recommend that your clients build in order to attract that email? Because emails are valuable nowadays.
Yes, they're very valuable because, for one, they are yours. I mean, you can have a LinkedIn or Facebook profile or any of those other social media where you have thousands of people on there, but those platforms can go away tomorrow, and then you don't have no list. So yes, email list is definitely a big key, because you can also build up the relationship. As far as the content goes, I mean, you definitely, any business should have content, either blog post, videos, those free giveaways like a PDF, a workbook, an ebook, or an actual book. Like the guy that you mentioned, what he did.
Nathan.
And sure, there are different things that you can really do, but you don't necessarily have to write pages and pages and pages and pages of content. I mean, you want to have a strategy around that. So every week you can, let's say, create a blog, write a newsletter that's basically around your blog, and then maybe make a video out of it too. And the good thing about content is you don't have to create new content every single time. You can reuse old content. So let's say one time you wrote a blog post. Now you can turn that blog post into a video, and then in a newsletter, and then you can create an ebook out of that. So you can reuse content over and over again. And let's say you've sent out 100 blog posts. Well, guess what? You can reuse those again, maybe not in the same order, but you can reuse your content. And you can even get help with creating content. I mean, I know a lot of people, they use VAs, virtual assistants, to help them with the content. I have done it before too, where I had a VA write my blog post, but then I really realized that it's not my message, it's not my voice, so I started writing my own blog posts again. And then just maybe have them tweak it. But you can really, the content, you can reuse it in many, many different ways. You can turn it into an audio, into video, into an ebook. So it's not as challenging as it might seem. I mean, the big thing is to have a plan around how are you going to use your content. Have a content marketing plan in place where each week you list, okay, on Tuesday I'm going to post this content in this format, and this is where I'm going to post it. And that's going to help you stay afloat. So each month I create my content calendar for the next month. So I know, okay, next month, this is all the content I have to create. And like I said, I can reuse my content and put it in different formats. And it's really determining, what does your ideal client want? If you want to create a podcast, but your ideal client really doesn't like listening to podcasts, then don't do the podcast, and maybe do a video. Do anything that your ideal client wants. So the key is really knowing who your ideal client is. What do they want? What are their pain points? What challenge do they have and want to have solved? And then you can create your whole content and marketing strategy around that. And then each content you can put out, you can have a link to an opt-in form in there. So let's say you're doing a blog post about a specific topic. You can have a checklist or a little ebook or anything like that about that content with a link within the blog post that takes them to the landing page. And that's how you can also build your list.
Love it. Okay, now, with that being said, okay, so I get it. You are a consultant. You help them build their strategy. You help them implement their strategy. I like the fact that you do websites, because a lot of consultants will be like, hey, do this, this, and this. And then they're like, great, do it. And they look at you like, oh, we don't do that. But you actually will help them implement the strategy. So I like that. Okay. So we're going to go into what we call the lightning round. We're going to ask some direct questions, kind of one word or one sentence answers. Are you ready to go?
Sure, yes. Shoot.
Okay. Most money you made in one single day?
10 grand.
The most money you lost in a single day?
Oh boy. I'm honestly not sure.
Okay. Best day of your life?
Best day of my life was the day when I quit my job last year.
Worst.
January the 15th.
Worst day of your life?
Worst day of my life. When I left my family in Germany, 2006.
Okay, I can't imagine that being easy. What's next for your business? You're obviously growing your business. What's next for your business?
I want to expand. I want to hire a virtual team to build up a marketing company as well. So then I have the coaching, consulting, and digital marketing company.
Beautiful. Okay. I noticed you were on Fox, CBS, etc. How did you get on? Because I noticed you've been dealing directly with me. Have you used a publicity firm in the past, or do you do it all yourself?
Well, actually, I went on to Fiverr, got someone to write a press release. We submitted it to one of those press release sites, and that's how I got onto CBS, ABC, and all of those different channels. And one time I actually had someone write a news release about me. That was my first one. That's how I got on it.
Nice. What are some of the tools that you use? Because you mentioned 5R. I do use 5R for some things. What are other tools that you use? Because you seem like a solopreneur, right? Which is good, but you need help sometimes. So, what are other tools and resources that you use to help run your business?
Well, I use a WordPress plugin to create all my landing pages, my websites. For that, it's called InstaBuilder. I use a scheduling system, TimeTrade. That's my online scheduler, so that's been really helpful.
Okay.
What other tools? I have a Access database for all my contacts beside my email database.
Okay.
What else? I mean, I do a lot of the things myself. I mean, I use Fiverr only for little things that I don't feel like doing. But most of all, I mean, I do most of my stuff, actually everything myself right now.
Okay, beautiful. All right. So, what is your average retainer? So, if I were to hire you, you have 100 clients, 5 clients, 2 clients. What is your average retainer for a consulting client?
It really depends on what they want. So, I mean, so far I'm trying to be really reasonable when it comes to the pricing. So for a website, I charge about $1,500, but then it really depends on what else do they want to have implemented. Do they want different landing pages? So I really go by an effective strategy first with them, and then we come up with the pricing. So usually it's about $1,000 a month for the retainer for the consulting.
Got it, which is more than fair these days. So how can we find you, Kay?
My website is kaysanders.com, so KAYSANDERS.com. I'm also on LinkedIn and Facebook. Both they can find me under Kay Sanders.
Fantastic. Kay Sanders, I love your story. You
Thank you.
dealt with a little adversity, or a lot of adversity, by moving to another country. Having a lot of changes in your life, and then despite that, just going it on your own as an entrepreneur. Hats off to you, and we wish you continued success.
Thank you, and thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Our pleasure. This is New Theory Podcast signing off.